Here is a one sample sign test. We have the scores of 20 students for the statistics exam. Yeah. We need to test if the current median is not equal to historical median of 82. That means your null hypothesis would be, is it equal or is it not equal, right? We will get to that. Okay. Now, even before we proceed, we need to identify on what is Y and what is X. You have the marks here of 20 students. Marks is usually continuous. You can get any marks, any number of marks. So it's continuous basically. And you have an external standard that you have, which is 82, right? So we need to say perform this kind of a test on whether the current median is equal to the historical median or not. So first step is, let us identify on whether our data follows normal distribution or not. So we need to look at the student scores dataset. I'll close this. Here we have the student scores. In order to perform normality test, we have two options: stat, basic statistics, normality test, or stat basic statistics graphical summary. Now let us resort to normality test for now. You need to select scores, just click on OK, and you get to see the output. When I look at the data, I get a sense that, numbers are not falling along the line. They are also slightly perpendicular or just dropping on that line in this way. So I sense that data are not normal. But however, we need to look at the p-value. P-value is 0.019. So let me go back here. For this normality test, I would write down here on what is null and alternate hypothesis. For normality test, data are normal, and you take an action, transform the data if data are not normal. And here the p-value happens to be 0.019. P-value is 0.019, and this is less than 0.05. And what does this imply? P low, null, go. That means you're rejecting null hypothesis. If you reject null hypothesis, obviously you need to go with alternate hypothesis. That is, data are not normal. So you transform the data, you perform log transformation, exponential transformation, reciprocal, do all that. Box-Cox, Johnson, and if your data still does not follow normal distribution, then we need to proceed with one sample t-test. Assume that we have tried all that. Step 2, data wasn't normal, so we are now going to proceed with one sample sign test. So even before we perform any test, we need to first write down null and alternate hypothesis. And why median? Remember, median will not get influenced by outliers. Normally your data does not tend to follow normal distribution. If you have too many values which are in one extreme, too many values towards the lower extreme, or too many values towards the upper side, if you notice that kind of data, normally your data are not normal. Hence, since median is not going to be influenced by outliers, we take this. So this is your null hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis says median is not equal to 82. And now we need to perform the test. Navigation is provided here. Stat, non-parametric, one sample, sign test. So let me go to this Minitab file. If you want to go back to your worksheet, just click on this. Right. Now we go here to stat, non-parametric tests, and we have one sample sign test. We select the scores here, and we have test median, which is 82, and your alternate hypothesis is not equal. So let me click on OK. There we go. So the p-value here is 0.8238. So the p-value is 0.82 something. If this p-value is greater than 0.5, what does it imply? It implies p high, null fly. That means you fail to reject null hypothesis. You did not reject, you fail to reject. So what do we conclude here? We conclude that there is no reason to believe that the median is different than 82. There's no reason to believe.